Valentine's Day is supposed to be about love. Roses, chocolates, handwritten cards, and people holding hands in restaurants glowing with soft light. But for Maya, it never felt like that. Everyone else looked like they belonged somewhere. Everyone else looked chosen. Everywhere she turned, shops decorated with heart-shaped balloons, adverts showing perfect couples laughing on beaches, people walking hand in hand. It felt like the whole world was celebrating a kind of love she didn't have. She spent Valentine's morning scrolling through messages from her friends, picture after picture. Teddy bears bigger than the person holding them. Red roses wrapped with glittery paper, heart-shaped cakes. Reservation confirmations for rooftop dinners. Captions like, "He always knows how to make me feel special." With every picture, something inside her slowly and quietly sank. She wasn't jealous, that's what she told herself, but her heart ached with a feeling she didn't have the courage to name. A quiet whisper of, "Why not me?" By evening, she sat by her window, watching the world outside shift into Valentine's night. Couples passed with flowers and clasped hands. Friends laughed loudly as they headed toward warm restaurants. The sidewalks were sprinkled with rose petals from bouquets already handed out. Maya wrapped her arms around herself, feeling a heaviness she couldn't shake. She whispered into the quiet room, "God, why does love feel so far away from me?" Her voice trembled slightly. She didn't usually ask questions like this. She was the strong one, the one who encouraged others. The one who told people God loved them even when life didn't look like it. But tonight she just felt human, soft, breakable. She whispered again, even softer, "Lord, do you really see me?" For a moment, there was only silence. Just the hum of her heater and the faint sound of laughter from outside. Maya closed her eyes and sighed, a long, slow exhale full of disappointment she had never confessed out loud. Then something gentle shifted inside her, not a voice, not a vision. Just a memory rising softly in her heart like a feather drifting back to the surface. A Bible verse she learned as a child. "I have loved you with an everlasting love." She hadn't thought about that verse in years. She breathed in softly, almost surprised by the warmth that spread through her chest. She didn't expect anything extraordinary to happen. She wasn't asking for a miracle or a sign. She just needed to feel less alone. But that night, everything changed in the simplest way. As she sat there, the truth nudged her heart gently, like a whisper she almost missed. Valentine's Day celebrates love. But God invented love. The one who shaped galaxies also shaped her heart. The one who painted sunsets also painted purpose into her soul. The one who gave the world the greatest sacrifice whispers her name with tenderness. She realized she wasn't waiting for love at all. Love had been waiting for her. Her phone buzzed suddenly, cutting through the silence. It was a message from an old friend she hadn't spoken to in months. "Hey, this is random, but you crossed my mind today. I just wanted you to know you're loved." Truly loved, Maya blinked, surprised. The timing felt too perfect to be accidental. She set the phone down slowly, her heart softening. Before she could process it, a gentle knock echoed from the door. Not loud, not urgent, just enough to make her turn her head. When she opened it, she saw a small box resting on her doormat. No name, no handwriting, just a simple white ribbon tied around it. She knelt down, picked it up carefully, and carried it inside. Inside the box was a single chocolate and a small cream-colored card. The handwriting was elegant but simple. It read, "You are seen, you matter. You are loved more deeply than you know." Maya pressed the card against her chest and closed her eyes. Tears gathered at the corners of her eyes, not the painful kind, but the kind that come when something inside you finally unclenches after being tight for too long. It wasn't the chocolate. It wasn't the card. It was the reminder. Because while the world celebrates a love that often fades, fails, or forgets, God's love does none of that. It doesn't wait for you to be perfect. It doesn't show up only when you deserve it. It doesn't disappear when others walk away. God's love finds you on quiet nights when you feel unseen. It wraps around you when heartbreak tells you you're not enough. It steadies you when your mind is tired. It whispers to your spirit when your strength is running out. And sometimes it shows up in the simplest ways: a memory, a message, a moment of peace reminding you that you were never unseen, never forgotten, never unloved. Later that night, Maya took a walk to clear her mind. She found herself drifting toward the old chapel near her street. A small building with warm lights glowing softly through stained glass windows. She stepped inside. It was empty, quiet, peaceful. The place smelled faintly of candles and old wooden pews. She sat near the back and let her thoughts settle. The chapel didn't magically erase her longing for companionship. It didn't remove her desire for love she could touch. But it gave her something she didn't even know she needed: perspective. She realized she hadn't been overlooked. She hadn't been abandoned. She hadn't been last on God's list. She had simply forgotten that her worth wasn't tied to roses or dinner reservations or someone choosing her for one evening. She had forgotten that before anyone had the chance to claim her, God already had. When Maya finally stood to leave the chapel, she wasn't holding flowers. She didn't have a date. She had no fancy Valentine's plans waiting for her. But she carried something far better: a love that stays, a love that heals, a love that chooses her every single day, a love that chose her long before she was born. As she walked home beneath the soft glow of streetlights, she smiled. For the first time since she was a child, Valentine's Day finally made sense. It wasn't about being someone's choice. It was about remembering she had already been chosen by the God who loves without limit, without conditions, and without end. It wasn't about who didn't send flowers. It was about the one who created every flower in existence. It wasn't about finding the perfect person. It was about resting in the love of the one who has never once stopped pursuing her heart. Maya whispered into the cool night air, "Thank you for loving me even when I forget." And in that moment, quiet, ordinary, unplanned, she felt something she hadn't felt in a very long time: whole. Have you ever felt forgotten by God? Wondering if He skipped your name, skipped your season, skipped your heart? He didn't. He never has. You may feel delayed, but you're never abandoned. His love reaches you even on the nights when you can't feel it. God remembers you in ways the world could never measure, gently, faithfully, constantly. And maybe this story was your reminder that His love still sees you, still knows you, still calls your name. Leave a comment sharing the story of a time you felt forgotten, but God's love came through for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is Life's Whispered Moments. Tune in for more stories of life, love, and lessons.